right. Hello, FILBangalore. I hope everyone's having a wonderful morning. You've already heard from me a good bit, but my name is Mackinlay, and I'm extremely excited to talk to you today about scaling Filecoin storage and compute. Before we get started, let me share some context for why I'm here today. In addition to currently leading the PL engineering and research teams, including our teams working on FVM, Lotus, IPC, IPFS, libp2p, and many, many other amazing engineering and research projects, I've also been a core protocol dev, manager, and lead working in the Filecoin community for the last 3.5 years, since before mainnet launch, through over 3 years of iteration and improvement. At Filecoin, we've been working to build a decentralized, efficient, and robust foundation for humanity's information. This involves onboarding massive amounts of data and building a Web3 network that can keep up with humanity's exponential growth. Along the way, we've designed and shipped over 20 network upgrades, 40 Filecoin improvement proposals, and some major new protocol capabilities like SnarkPack that increased Filecoin storage onboarding capacity by 20x. That's in addition to actually designing, auditing, testing, and launching Filecoin in the first place. If I were to summarize the past 3 years, in year 1, the main focus was on building the world's largest decentralized storage network, which we did. There are over 10 exabytes of storage capacity in the Filecoin network, secured by over 3,000 storage providers across 44 countries. Storage providers are also supported by top-tier global hardware vendors, including Seagate, AMD, Supermicro, and more. Year 2, and this past year as well, we've been focused on onboarding and safeguarding humanity's data. We've seen a massive increase in data onboarded to Filecoin across many onboarding ramps and tools and many client domains. We now have over 1.5 exabytes of data stored on Filecoin, and our onboarding rate has reached over 6 petabytes of data per day. Filecoin now stores 2 million terabytes of client data, which is equivalent to 500 million 1080p movies. The total client data onboarded has 4x'd this year so far. We also have over 1.7 thousand unique client addresses who have stored data with Filecoin, including CERN's Atlas project, who chose Filecoin for geo-replication and data integrity, UC Berkeley, who's using Filecoin for cost-efficient petabyte research data storage, Starling Labs, who is using Filecoin's immutable, verifiable storage to document war crimes in Ukraine, and the USC Shoah Foundation, storing 115,000 hours of Holocaust testimonials to preserve them for future generations. Some pretty impressive use cases. In addition, we've seen a flurry of applications and new use cases joining the network. In the last 3 years, Filecoin accelerators have graduated over 300 startups who have raised over $400 million in total funding from top-tier VCs. This year, we've been hard at work bringing compute to the data and state in Filecoin to enable web-scale applications. FVM launched in March of this year, bringing smart contracts and user programmability to Filecoin and unleashing the enormous potential of an open data economy. Since FVM launch, total value locked has grown to $145 million, growing at 46% month over month. In a few short months, Filecoin has emerged as a top 25 blockchain as measured by TVL. A few of my favorite applications that have been built so far with FVM include perpetual and automatic storage contracts from Lighthouse and NFT.storage, Web3 CDN rewards contracts from Filecoin Saturn, stable diffusion compute contracts from Waterlily, which generate and mint new NFTs based on the user's prompt, and last but not least, an amazing ecosystem of DeFi loan markets, helping connect Filecoin token holders with storage providers to help scale storage onboarding. We've already seen over 9 million FIL deposited in these marketplaces and over 8 million FIL borrowed by storage providers. Today, over 200 teams are building on FVM, generating over 2,000 unique contracts across many diverse verticals. Recent ecosystem partner launches include Axelar and Seller Bridges, MetaMask and Brave wallets, and decentralized exchanges like SushiSwap and Uniswap. Thanks to FBM, we're on the cusp of a new phase for Filecoin. Our focus is expanding from data storage to a whole suite of Web3 networks and tools to support planetary scale applications, building on FBM and new programmable storage capabilities. We now have many meaty L2 projects getting started that build on Filecoin's L1 storage capabilities, from compute networks like Lilypad, Fluence, and Lumino, to storage and database networks like Lighthouse and Tableland, to retrieval networks like Saturn, Station, and Titan. In 2024, we'll see large-scale compute networks launching on Filecoin, which will enable massive Web 2-style applications to make the transition to Web 3. You can think of this as many L2 compute networks joining on Filecoin's L1 and optimized for different properties like privacy, verifiability, and performance. Currently, there are dozens of teams working on solutions in the Compute Over Data working group together. Many of them are building on Bacalhau. Bacalhau is a library of compute tools enabling users to distribute compute jobs to run where the data is stored, like in a decentralized network, instead of in centralized cloud data centers. Bacalhau is built on IPFS and Filecoin and designed to work over distributed data sets and networks. Over 30 organizations are building in the Compute Over Data working group, including Boink, Prelinger, Fission, and Ceramic. Bacalhau already powers a large community of Compute Over Data projects in the Protocol Labs network, such as Expanso, an edge computing company designed for enterprise clients, Waterlily, a generative AI NFT smart contract on FVM, and Lilypad, a Filecoin Layer 2 compute network building on Bacalhau, FVM, and interplanetary consensus. With FVM and Bacalhau, Filecoin aims to be a robust and scalable home for many different L2 compute networks, helping bring high-value compute jobs to cheap, large-scale data storage for use cases like generative AI training, collaborative data analytics, and decentralized lambdas. Soon, anyone, especially Filecoin storage providers, can join to earn rewards by hiring out their spare GPUs for distributed compute jobs on their compute network of choice. This brings us to step 3, a new scalable blockchain framework for building planetary scale applications on-chain that can support these compute-rich networks and the applications built on them. Social networks like Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit, productivity tools like Telegram, Gmail, and Microsoft Office, and massive gaming platforms like Fortnite and Roblox. Each of these have billions of monthly active users and millions of transactions per second. Crossing the chasm truly in Web3 requires enabling these applications to build on Web3 primitives and bring their massive user bases on-chain, and aiming to power a new generation of apps that break Web2 limits. Subnets are the essential unit of scalability for IPC. Their design reconciles Web 2 and Web 3 architectures. Subnets can scale horizontally and vertically by spinning up and closing down instances at will. Subnet trees can be organized by geography, latency, QoS, much like internet regions and data centers work today. And IPC intercommunicates subnets so they can work together seamlessly and share each other's capabilities. And guess what? All of this stuff is not that crazy. In Web 2 cloud terms, the things I just said map to elastic compute and load balancing, regions, availability zones, clusters, and virtual private clouds, service meshes, and message queues. Web3 needs these capabilities to match and surpass the centralized cloud, and IPC makes that possible. A tree of IPC subnets can optimize for many different use cases, like app-specific subnets for gaming or even a specific game, geographically bounded subnets with nodes in a subregion or even a single data center, and infrastructure subnets like databases or caches. These subnets work in concert to deliver highly scalable, dynamic, decentralized applications. Now, practically everything about subnets can be customized. Thanks to the FVM, subnets get EVM compatibility for free, and you can deploy specialized logic as WASM actors, written in any of the supported languages that compile to WASM. You can add syscalls to escape to native land to integrate with GPUs, crypto, ZK primitives, whatever you want. You can use your own native coin within your L2. You can bring in an entire new FVM runtime. And in the future, you're going to be able to bring your own consensus, integrate with storage, and more. While the DX today is still in early stages, we're working on it, we're committed to making customization simple and frictionless over time. And all of this is coming soon to Filecoin. Mycelium, which you've already heard about today, is a hosted IPC subnet, and it's now live on the Filecoin calibration network. You can use this subnet to get started quickly with sub-second block times and fast finality, so you can deploy your first smart contract today. And in Q1, we plan to launch and declare GA, launching Mycelium on Filecoin mainnet and opening up IPC to all of you. This will instantly supercharge Filecoin with L2 capabilities, and it will enable compute, AI/ML jobs, retrieval networks, such as the ones being built by our friends at Fluence, Lilypad, and Spark. In milestone 4, which is in the near future, we plan to integrate on-chain programs with content address data and support interpreted WASM actors as well. As the tech evolves, we plan to bring regional subnets to Filecoin to scale the storage network itself. That's all from me today, but you can learn a ton more about IPC at ipc.space. And if you're hacking later this week at ETH India, I highly recommend diving into the new capabilities being unlocked here today. Before I leave, I really wanted to remind you all about the great workshop that Matt is leading later today, where you can actually deploy your first smart contract on IPC right here, so you're all ready to go, set up, have practiced, and can really customize your hack for later this week. I truly cannot wait to see what you build. Thank you all, and I hope you have a great rest of this day.